Но не злоба нас будет из плена вести, не слепая, не черная ненависть в нас. Свежий ветер нам высушит слезы у глаз справедливой, но подлинной ненависти. Ненависть, эй, переполнена чаша. Ненависть требует выхода, ждет, но благородная ненависть наша рядом с любовью живет. Ненависть, ненависть, ненависть.
Ополченцы Донбасса во взаимодействии с российской армией прибывают в Мариуполь и выдвигают украинским военным и ее политикам ультиматум о том, что они должны до полудня понедельника, 20 марта 2022 года, сдаться, иначе они будут убиты.
Russia invaded Ukraine, we would act with Germany to ensure that the Nord Stream 2 pipeline does not move forward. Today, Chancellor Scholz announced that the German government is suspending that pipeline indefinitely. We've been in close consultation with Germany throughout this process. We welcome this swift and decisive action. And we're executing a plan in close coordination with allies and partners to secure the stability of global energy supplies, which is in all of our interests.
Станьте з захисної споруди або заховайтеся на місцевості. Дотримуйтесь спокою та порядку. Уважно слухайте повідомлення Департаменту з питань цивільного захисту Львівської облдержадміністрації. Увага! Говорить Департамент з питань цивільного захисту Львівської обласної державної адміністрації. Громадяни, повітряна тривога. Відключіть світло, газ, погасіть вогонь у печах.
وسيري لرقة كنشوقة هنسن قوم بلوكنا تذكر سبابوشة غيتوكنا مصمت يرقل غيدا ير مصر ما يوشش بوشة سدرت غيدا أصل الإنسان قومي جانو هاي شو خو سلوك تشوف هو سدرت عميوش كده مستيح الضوء ذلك تقول الأخوان سير الله أكبر كنت قاتشل في قتل سوق ياسمون الله أولا عسى
Boyum, Akibu Afkenti bu, Ahmad Fil Allahu Ekber Bokan. Oo, bratан. Ha? Просто ленч дос кuyar ol, koyuyorsun.
Secure the stability of global energy.
Ya düş yani, normal dokun. Tamam, tamam.
Да, нас ненависть в плен захватил сейчас, но не злоба нас будет из плена вести, не слепая, не черная ненависть у нас. Свежий ветер нам высушит слезы у глаз справедливой, но подлинной ненависти. Ненависть, эй, огненна чаша, ненависть, требует выхода ждет. Ненависть наша рядом с любовью живет. Ненависть, ненависть, ненависть.
А вы сами откуда?
Откуда? Я с Димитрова, Донецкой области. Город Димитров. Иду домой. Наконец-то, за 8 лет домой хочу дойти, блядь.
Не были 8 лет?
Не был 8 лет Донецкий.
Как настроение?
Настроение боевое. Многого сказать не могу, но, ребята, все хорошо. Блядь.
А вы сами откуда?
Откуда? Я с Димитрова, Донецкой области. Город Димитров. Иду домой. Наконец-то, за 8 лет домой хочу дойти, блядь.
Не были 8 лет?
Не был 8 лет Донецкий.
Как настроение?
Настроение боевое. Многого сказать не могу, но, ребята, все хорошо. Блядь.
Those who would trade our freedom for the soup kitchen of the welfare state have told us they have a utopian solution, a peace without victory. They call their policy accommodation. when they say if we'll only avoid any direct confrontation with the enemy, he'll forget his evil ways and learn to love us. All who oppose them are indicted as warmongers. They say we offer simple answers to complex problems. Well, perhaps there is a simple answer. Not an easy answer, but simple. The nation which can prefer disgrace to danger is prepared for a master and deserves one. Now let's set the record straight. There's no argument over the choice between peace and war, but there's only one guaranteed way you can have peace, and you can have it in the next second. Surrender. Admittedly, there's a risk in any course we follow other than this, but every lesson of history tells us that the greater risk lies in appeasement. And this is the specter our well-meaning liberal friends refuse to face, that their policy of accommodation is appeasement. And it gives no choice between peace and war, only between fight or surrender. If we continue to accommodate, continue to back and retreat, eventually we have to face the final demand, the ultimatum. And what then? Well, Nikita Khrushchev has told his people he knows what our answer will be. He has told them that we're retreating under the pressure of the Cold War, and someday, when the time comes to deliver the final ultimatum, our surrender will be voluntary, because by that time, we will have been weakened from within spiritually, morally, and economically. He believes this because from our side he's heard voices pleading for peace at any price. You and I know and do not believe that life is so dear and peace so sweet as to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery. The martyrs of history were not fools. And our honored dead, who gave their lives to stop the advance of the Nazis, didn't die in vain. Where then is the road to peace? Well, it's a simple answer after all. You and I have the courage to say to our enemies, there is a price we will not pay, there is a point beyond which they must not advance. We'll preserve for our children this, the last best hope of men on earth, or we'll sentence them to take the last step into 1,000 years of darkness.
Has maintained the closest surveillance of the Soviet military buildup on the island of Cuba. Within the past week, unmistakable evidence has established the fact that a series of offensive missile sites is now in preparation on that imprisoned island. The purpose of these bases can be none other than to provide a nuclear strike capability against the Western Hemisphere. Only last Thursday, as evidence of this rapid offensive buildup was already in my hand, Soviet Foreign Minister Kitoko told me in my office that he was instructed to make it clear once again, as he said his government had already done, that Soviet assistance to Cuba, and I quote, pursued solely the purpose of contributing to the defense capabilities of Cuba, unquote. But, and I quote him, training by Soviet specialists of Cuban nationals in handling defensive armaments was by no means offensive. And that if it were otherwise, as Kitoko went on, the Soviet government would never become involved in rendering such assistance, unquote. That statement also was false. Acting therefore in the defense of our own security and of the entire Western Hemisphere, and under the authority entrusted to me by the Constitution, as endorsed by the resolution of the Congress, I have directed that the following initial steps be taken immediately. To halt this offensive buildup, a strict quarantine on all offensive military equipment under shipment to Cuba is being initiated. All ships of any kind bound for Cuba, from whatever nation or port, will, if found to contain cargoes of offensive weapons, be turned back. It shall be the policy of this nation to regard any nuclear missile launched from Cuba against any nation